Hello, my name is Martyr, and this is Let's Play Ascendant. Ascendant is a rogue-lite action platformer, guys. Think Guacamelee meets The Binding of Isaac, and you got a good idea of what the game is like. It released May 2014, and it was developed and published by Happa Games. You can go ahead and get Ascendant on Steam right now for $9.99. Now, in Ascendant, guys, you play a demigod who decides to start some shit, invade someone else's realm, bust up their minions, take their stuff, and then you fight a boss. The game is actually quite jam-packed full of features, guys, and it's a very, very interesting idea. The game is rather difficult, though. Let's say, unlike other roguelites, for instance Rogue Legacy, there is no form of progression. You die, game over. Start again from square one. You don't get to keep any of your treasure, none of the loot that you find, and you basically have to see how far you can progress until you beat the game. Now, if that sounds interesting to you, stick around. Let's see what we can discover. Now, one of the things I want to talk about right off the bat here, if you're interested in playing this game, play the tutorial. It is fantastic and gives you a really good idea of all the features and how they all work in the game. The game does feature also a bit of a character select screen, kind of like Binding of Isaac style. And each character has their own strengths and weaknesses and their own benefits and disadvantages. For instance, Memnon here is quite healthy and possesses no disadvantages. He basically has 4 health globs and, 4 hearts. And basically is a good general character to play. Theosis here heals after slaying a boss, but is knocked back farther from enemies' attacks, and only has 3 hearts, and I think he has a little bit of extra mana. And you can go ahead and unlock more characters as you play deeper and deeper into the game, and imagine that some of the benefits and disadvantages will get crazy, and there'll be certain styles that you can play, and certain characters have their own play styles. Also on the top right up here, if you notice it says press start to join, well, that's because this game features local co-op. That's correct. You can play this game with a friend of yours, and I can only imagine how balls crazy that would get. Even though you do play on one screen, so I'm not exactly sure how that would work as far as, let's say, the camera who would follow. So guys, the game basically is broken up into seasons. Every boss, every area is broken up into early spring, and then if I were to beat the boss, it'd be late spring. So each, I guess you could say, season has 2 sectors in it. All the way, I can imagine, to late winter, whereas when you beat the game. Not 100% sure about that. There could be more afterwards, but I'm just only assuming that. So let's talk about what you're looking up right here. On the top left here, those weird looking squiggly lines are actually hearts, and they actually are divided up into 4 pieces. Below that is my mana bar, which basically I can shoot these little weird red arrow dart things, and they can kind of a long distance attack. Below that is the number of keys I have, and below that is the currency of the game, which is called influence. And on the top right, we have a mini map, which I can kind of hit tab and see where I am, and also give me a more basic idea of what the area looks like. Now guys, like I said, this game is a procedurally generated game, so each area you get into will be different every time you play it. No one playthrough is exactly alike. And if you see when I hit the enemy, by the way, you see those yellow outlines that appear around the enemy, that kind of means my enemy is staggered. And what that basically allows me to do is kind of right-click them and then send them flying. Almost kind of like a grab, if you will, from Guacamelee, which is why this game really reminds me of Guacamelee. And you can also kind of aim your shots when they're staggered and kind of throw them in a particular direction that you may want, into other enemies, into an objective, whatever have you. Now, whenever you beat an area, basically kill all the enemies in that area, you will get a chest that will have either a random upgrade, it could have some influence, it could have a heart, it could have many, many things. So one of the first things I feel like I should address here is the controls. And you heard me say that I right-clicked. The game does feature semi-controller support. And this is actually something they're working on right now, which is why I'm going to get my ass kicked. I'm going to talk about it. The game, I would not suggest playing with the keyboard and mouse. Actually, I don't feel like the game really at all benefits too much from playing with the keyboard and mouse. It's rather difficult. But they're working on getting the game to feature and basically work with more controllers. My controller, for instance, doesn't work with the game, but it does have controller support. It does feature, I think, it works with Xbox controllers. And I would highly suggest playing the game with the controller, guys. It's way more better. It's way more, I think, probably a way more enjoyable experience. But again, I'm not going to hold that against them because it's something that they are actively working on. If you check the forums, they said, hey, we're working on it. Give us some time. We will allow you to remap your controls soon enough and allow that to be all hunky-dory. So I just felt like I should address that right away. But yeah, I mean, it's not that the controls are terrible with the keyboard. It's just there's a lot of going on here. It's an action game, and when you want to aim your enemy towards a particular direction, it could just be a little bit difficult with the keyboard and mouse. So as you can see, by the way, a little bit earlier, we got a kind of an upgrade. We basically got the plus stagger ability. We also got a key to our abilities, which actually we can go back now and use that key. So let's go ahead and do that. So yeah, there's basically a lot of things you can do in this game. You can dash. All the environments randomly change, guys. It's a really sweet aspect of the game. It has a lot of replayability. And this is what I was talking about, where it also kind of reminds me of the Binding of Isaac. You'll find keys in areas like this that are kind of locked off by a big golden block. Now, if I were to press down and swing my sword, I would use my key and unlock that area, and it allows me to progress into whatever this is. In this case, this is a shop. Now, kind of like the Binding of Isaac, which, by the way, I have to say the graphics for this area are fantastic. I love the way this entire area looks. It's very, just really kind of cool and haunting. This guy looks badass. Now, like the Binding of Isaac, you'll run into these shops and you'll find different kinds of items. For instance, an armored heart, if that sounds familiar, just a whole heart. You'll also find sometimes some upgrades, the Spirit of Sadist or a spell, which is Lesser Barrage. Which this basically is what upgrades that. Those are what those are. Those are the scrolls. And these spirits here, well, they can actually, we'll talk about that hopefully when we beat a boss. Let's get the hell out of here. I say hopefully because the game is rather difficult, guys. I don't want you to get the impression in any way that this game is easy. Yeah, I probably should have saved my key and gotten that golden chest up there, but that's okay. Oh well. So let's go ahead and move along. We can perhaps find another golden key. Like I said, it's all randomized, so who knows what will happen. Alright, so every area, like I said, is going to have a boss, guys. And you will have to defeat that boss to progress to the next area. Also, the bosses are also kind of randomly generated. I'm not exactly 100% sure how many bosses there are in total already in the game. I think it's like 2 per area in total. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me on that. So let's go ahead and kill these guys. Okay, he's dead. Oh, crap, I forgot to get my chest. Get my chest, man! I gotta get my chest. Smacked that sucker open and got 10 influence. We could potentially go back and buy a cart. You know what? Which we might as well go ahead and do, given the fact that we're officially going to be facing the boss. If you look at these little symbols here, by the way, it shows you what each kind of symbol does here. For instance, this is a treasure room. This one is a store, a spell. That's a boss room. And you get the basic idea. So let's go ahead really quickly. I'm going to go ahead and get use my 20 influence to buy a cart, because to be honest with you, if I die during this boss fight, it's not like there's going to be any point for me saving this influence. And the boss fights can be rather difficult. That's probably more has to do with the fact, again, though, that I'm playing with my keyboard and mouse, which I don't find as, at least with me, how about that? My playstyle is not, I don't find it as intuitive to play with a keyboard and mouse than I would, let's say, a controller. But that, again, is just all personal preference. You could be fine with the keyboard and mouse and you can have loads of fun with it. I'm just not a huge fan of playing with my keyboard and mouse, especially for an action platformer kind of like this, where, you know, agility and response is a crucial part to kind of, you know, defeating the boss here. Oh, balls. I have never defeated this boss here, guys. So we'll probably see me die. Probably once here. Maybe I'll get lucky. You can block your enemy's attacks, by the way. Okay, he's dead. He's dead. I'm getting very lucky here. I never did this well before. So I'm actually very happy with my performance so far. Oh, crap. I gotta watch out for that little stupid glob on the floor. Oh, good lord. Okay. I'm taking some unnecessary damage here. Oh, come on, I blocked that. Oh, good lord. Oh, I died. Oh, gosh dang. I don't know what hit me, but I died. Oh, well. That's okay. It gives me a chance to show you what this screen looks like. Every time you die, it'll basically show you how far you progressed, your total damage, the enemies you killed, all that good stuff, and basically take you back to the start screen. That's one thing I kind of want to say. I wish there was like a quick restart button. You have to kind of go back to the main menu and then back into the game itself. But that's okay because it also gives me the chance to show you some other things in this game, guys. Like I said, there's blessings in this game. Every time you defeat a boss, or sometimes you'll find in random loot, you'll find these random blessings, and these blessings can do an assortment of things. For instance, the blessing of Agni, it basically may set your foes ablaze, and you can kind of choose where you equip blessings to. There's several spots, like you can equip it to your chest, your belt, your hilt of your sword, the blade of your sword, the base of your magic, or the actual like effects of your magic, and it kind of affects things in different ways. And there's a lot of different kinds of blessings here, guys. For instance, the blessing of Scaldi, I put it on my spells and it chills and slows foes. And as you collect these blessings, it'll keep track of what it does and where you place it, basically. There's also breaths in the game, which, if I do remember correctly, these are kind of like usable items, which I have not even collected any. As you can see, oh, that's not true, I've collected one, which is the Breath of Ragin, which lightning strikes your foes. I think I got that one through the tutorial, though. But as you can see, there's just a lot of different just enemies, and there's a lot of different kinds of blessings and breaths and buffs. Like, for instance, the Spirit of Haggling, which reduces shop prices. And there's 57 of these. There's 16 different kinds of weapons, each of them with their own unique designs and their own looks. You know, I will say that I do enjoy the stylized graphics, guys. I think they're quite neat. Each character kind of has their own, especially I enjoy the look of the actual main characters themselves. We're going to go ahead and play with Memnon here, and we'll see if he can do a little bit better than the other guy did there. And this time I'll kind of just try to jam through as humanly fast as possible to beat one of the bosses and show you hopefully what one of the blessings looks like as quickly as possible here. Smashy smash. Again, because it's procedurally generated, everything's gonna be a little bit different this time, so I've got to find my way to the boss room first off and foremost. Okay, he's dead for sure. Come here, you stupid bug. Hey, he's dead. Right? Everyone's dead? Really? Stupid bug. Alright, let's go up here. We got some influence, which is fantastic. I think we have to catch this up here and then move along. Alright. And then we got more enemies to fight. We got little suicide enemies. That's great. Every time I fight one of those bee-looking things, it always looks like a big sneaker to me flying through the sky. It does look like a big sneaker. Come on. It looks like a big bee sneaker. And the enemies do change up as you get into later levels, guys. As you move into different parts of the game here, the enemies will change up and will probably become stronger and more difficult to defeat. Like I said, guys, the game is very, very punishing. It's not an easy game, to say the least. So, I mean, if you're looking for a challenge, for sure, you're going to enjoy this game. I'm going to go ahead and fight this boss. It's grunty. This is the second boss you can fight in this area. He's a little bit easier to defeat, I will say that much. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'll run over here. Dang it. Basically, what we need to do for this boss is we need to knock over his tower. And then kill him when he falls out. Which basically we just wail on his ass right here and he dies. Perfect. And then we kill his foes. Damn, that guy won't die. There we go. And now that we've defeated him, we basically can move along to the next area. Same style, basically. You can open up a chest here, and it'll move you to the next area. For instance, now we got the Blessing of Zephyrus. And this is what I was talking about, guys. You can kind of place it on several different areas of your character, and it'll have different effects. For instance, we could place it on the middle part of my chest, we could place it on the lower part of my chest, we could place it on the hilt of my blade, or the actual blade, and then we can also attach it to my magic. And basically, depending on where we attach it to, it'll have different effects, which will be recorded again in that screen that I showed you earlier. So let's go ahead and attach this to my blade here. Basic attacks now may launch foes skyward. And that basically is now kind of recorded forever for the rest of my save file, and basically I can always keep track of the fact that I have that blessing and I know what it does if I need to figure out what it does. And you can basically visit that screen I showed you a little bit earlier on by simply pressing the escape button, and it'll take you to your character sheet and show you the different things that are going on with your character here, your stats, what blessings you have, what items you're using, where your blessings are, and etc, etc, etc. I'm not 100% sure what these are. I think these may be where kind of upgrades go that you can collect in the game. But you can also check out the discovery screen like I told you and see what that does also. And now that basically we've beaten the first boss, we moved on to the next area like I said we would, and now it is late spring. We kind of have to find our way. But you know, I like the Binding of Isaac. You can go ahead and just bum rush the boss. You don't necessarily have to fight these enemies or go through all these enemies. You can just kind of just go to the boss, beat him as fast as you can. But obviously it's going to benefit you to look for upgrades and treasure and loot as enemies become more and more difficult. There is a chest over here, so we're going to go right and see what random loot we can get here, guys. And then we'll take a sneak peek at the second boss, and then we'll probably call it there. We did get a unwavering curved blade. And each weapon is also very different, as you can imagine. Not all of them work the exact same. For instance, this one has a bonus damage of 93. It has a stagger damage of 32. It's slower to swing, though, and it has a 5% chance to auto parry when hit. Attacks no longer flinch you, which is fantastic. We're going to go ahead and switch to that because, well, for one thing, it's just a much better weapon damage-wise. And compared to our basic sword, it will probably be more beneficial to use. Let's go ahead and try to find the exit here. There it is. And we'll head upwards. That's what I think is a good move. We shall see, though. There is also environmental dangers, guys, like spikes, as you can see right here. If you're not careful, you can kind of get your... Oh, good lord! Did you see that? Oh my god. Oh my god, his neck is stretched out. That doesn't even look right. Ooh. He killed himself. He ran into the spikes. That's kind of funny. Let's go ahead and keep moving along here. Dang, die, man. You can't beat me. Oh, great. We got a guy with a shield here. There we go. Beat all their asses. We are getting hit, taking quite a few shots, though. But that's because the enemies are just getting more difficult and kind of getting more responsive. And they basically are trying to kill me. We'll go ahead and head down. Hopefully this is near the boss room. That would be nice. Okay, he's dead. We got this slug-looking dude. I hate these worms, by the way. By far, my least favorite enemies to fight in this game are these stupid, Stop swinging, get the chest! Alright, we got a key for that. And there was also something else in that room. I'm not 100% sure what that is. I'll go ahead and use my key to get to it, whatever it is. I do have quite a bit of keys in this gameplay. This run-through, I have to say. This has gone much better than my other run-through with Thesis, or whatever the hell his name is. Oh, good lord! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And these are other... I should forgot to mention, there is random events in this game, guys. Like this one, for instance. That was crazy. The Hand of the Taskmaster. It is way crappier damage. A chance of enemies to drop influence on death. No. There is random events in the game, guys, where you kind of enter an area and random things will kind of take place, which is pretty freaking sweet all in all, actually. Let's go ahead and head downwards, which is right here. And we are now officially lost. Where is the boss? Is he in here? Hold on, let's stay here. We are kind of lost, guys. I'm pretty sure I was going the right way. Maybe I missed a room with an exit here. Left, right, left, right. I guess it's more upwards? Yeah, I'm probably going to guess he's more upwards. Ah, there we go. Alright, so he's probably somewhere in here somewhere. And then we'll fight him and probably die a horrible death. Because like I said, the game is very challenging, guys. I don't want you to get the impression that in any way this game is easy. I've actually been playing it for a little while and got a little bit more used to the controls. I think I'd probably be doing a little bit better again, though, if I were using my controller. But that's just me kicking a dead horse here. So this is the second boss, which is the Burrower, which is a pain in the ass boss, guys. Oh, good lord. We kind of have to knock enemies into him. Oh, good lord. Yeah, we're dead. That's it, guys. We got him down about half health before he kicked our ass, though. At the very least, we almost got him down. And it basically is, again, what we collected. And guys, that's it. We basically have to start over again from square one and try to get back to late spring and into summer, all that, guys. Now, obviously, guys, Ascendant has quite a bit to offer and great replayability. If you're looking for a challenging game, Ascendant will not let you down. And with the developers putting out patches, listening to community, fixing the controller issues, Ascendant also has a bright future ahead. The game does also feature all that steamy goodness, guys, trading cards, achievement, if you're into that kind of thing. In my time with Ascendant, guys, I haven't ran into too many bugs, but I have heard that other people have had issues. So buyer beware. Go ahead and check it out, guys. It's a hard but fun game. I think you will enjoy it, especially if you're looking for a challenging game to play. Big thanks to the developer for a chance to review this title. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe, and I'll keep bringing you awesome indie games, guys. Till next time, play more indie games, and this has been Let's Play Ascendant.